I was writing with Ben Goldsmith and Jared Mullins. And Jared Mullins had the idea of Homemade. And as soon, I mean, we had thrown out some ideas and then he threw that out. And I said, all right, forget all the other ideas. This is what we're writing. That is a hit idea. Again, this kind of circles back around to where I love clever song ideas. And I thought that it was absolutely brilliant. And also I was thinking, how has no one in the 100 years of country music, how has nobody ever written this song idea? And I was like, thank you, God, for giving me this gift. Because that's truly what I felt like it was. So we started writing it, and we had written the first verse and the chorus. And I mean, I think we say Homemade 8 to 10 to 12 times in the chorus. I mean, it hooks a lot. And we were having trouble towards the end of the chorus. Like, we had the lyric, but we were having trouble like landing the hook and stuff. And so Jared calls Bobby Pinson and says, hey, we've got a song idea going, but we need some help, like kind of landing it. And Bobby was on his he was bush hogging on his tractor, excuse me. And he was bush hogging on his tractor. And he said, all right, well send me what you got and I might come over. Well, we sent him a work tape of what we had. And as soon as he heard the idea and heard the chorus, he was like, I'll be there. Because I think he knew how special it was too. And so it was really cool to write that song. It was, and going through the whole process of song going on hold. I mean, it was the first song I think that I had put on hold. And just going through that and then finding out that it was going to be a single and then, it going up the chart. And it was a really special thing to be a part of and a feeling and an emotion that I'll never forget. And, it's an adrenaline rush. It's a high that I still long to feel today, which kind of, lights the fire to keep you going and keep you writing songs and longing for that some more. So, I owe a lot to that song for kind of keeping me going today, but also just the things that it's done for me. I'll tell you one story in particular that I always remember. I obviously when I wrote Homemade, when it went number one, I was a new dad. I had just quit my job at the hospital, so I wasn't making much money, right? And so right when my daughter was born, like right around that week of it was like it's the craziest thing. Homemade went number one. I quit my job. My daughter was born. It was also the COVID was like starting. I mean, the end of March of 2020, but also Nashville had just got hit by a tornado, like a massive tornado. And I remember I had gotten home from the road. I'd been out on tour with Jameson Rogers that March of 2020, and I just got back home from the road. And a friend had hit me up and he said, hey, we're going to go to this neighborhood over here and help them clean up from the tornado damage. And I was like, he was like, would you want to help? And I was like, absolutely, I'd love to. Well, I didn't have a chainsaw, any of that. And so I go to Tractor Supply and I'm looking at chainsaws. I'm going to buy a chainsaw so I can go over here and help. So I'm looking at them and I'm like, God, these things are expensive. My goodness, these chainsaws are so expensive. I was like, I'm a new dad. Quit my job. I don't have any money. I can't afford one of these chainsaws. So I'm done looking at chainsaws. I'm walking out of Tractor Supply to go get back in my truck and just go meet the guys to go clean up. And literally as I'm like almost out of the store, Homemade comes over the speakers in Tractor Supply. And I just felt like it was a sign from God to say, listen, I gave you this song and it went number one. It's done all these things. You need to turn back around, go get that chainsaw and go help your buddies. And so I did. I was literally almost out the store without a chainsaw. And the song came on in Tractor Supply. I turned back around and bought a chainsaw. So that's one story that I've never forgotten. But yeah, it to this day, it never, it's always special. Even, I think about One Too Many, not necessarily hearing it on the radio, but I remember after Brooks and Dunn got featured on it, Luke sent it to me and I got to hear Ronnie and Kick sing words that I wrote. So that, that was super cool. And to this day, I mean, it never gets old.